What's going on? It's Ozzy Oz representing out of the Pure Lava Show. You know I comment on any and everything on YouTube. I'm gonna answer Barack Obama question, but he says, "What do you do to contribute in the community or in the world?" Well, let me tell you. So I have a good job. It contributes a lot to the community, definitely. But besides that, what I do, I host a lot of parties, whether it's from pre-K, kindergarten to college level, or hip hop, R&B, reggae events. No matter what size the venue, I host a lot of parties. One of the things that I'm known for and that I do, I encourage a lot of people to do better. No matter what, just do better. Picture in the hip hop crowd. I'm a hype person. When I'm in the crowd, I'm a hype. It's like I'm there with the people and I'm getting excited. And even if they're not excited, I'm grabbing their attention. But one of the things I do in the midst of that, I don't go off into no long speech. I don't go into no preaching. I keep it simple. And one of the things I do keep simple is for the people to move forward and never give up, and shoot for those dreams. Whether it's, working at working for the city, state, or federal, or whether it is, you know, getting involved in starting your own business. That's what I encourage people to do. Kids, go to school, get to college, educate yourself, go traveling. Encourage people, go traveling. I keep it very simple. And that's one of the things that I contribute in the community, and around me. I keep it because I did it myself. I went through from one point where I remember a time when I was younger, I didn't even know how to read properly. I was in class and people reading faster than me. I was getting left back. They put me in special ed. I had to go and see a psychiatrist because they thought, something was wrong with me. Like I couldn't, I wasn't retaining the information properly. I was always fighting and joking around and doing all sorts of stuff. It's just when I was transferred to another school, believe it or not, when I transferred to another school, elementary school, fifth grade it was a white teacher that took pride in me. Like, he saw the potential in me and he said, look, you know what? You ain't going to lunch. You ain't going to me. You go eat your lunch in this classroom and everybody outside playing. You're going to be in here. And that was like, I remember in the summertime, and every kid want to have fun in the summertime, have their shorts and everything. I had to sit in the classroom and he made me read, do math, and he said, I'm going to teach you everything from kindergarten to college level. That's when I was in the fifth grade. And he did. He taught me everything. So, from that point, I really enjoyed going to school. So I went from a point where I couldn't read properly, had a low IQ, to a point where this person took interest in me, and it's like I became unstoppable. Like, I started loving school, So I know what it's like. I know what a lot of kids on the street, they feel like, whatever certain problems that they might go through, or people, growing up or whatever, certain problems they might go through personally or whatever. I know for a fact that you can do it. People could do it. It's never a problem. It's always a challenge. That's what I always say to myself. A challenge you could solve. You know what I mean? That's nothing. We could conquer challenges. But that's one of the things I push. Like, no matter where I go. They could be gangs. They could be Crip Blood, Latin Kings, whatever. I'm still saying the same thing. I still get the respect for it. It don't sound corny. I'm not sitting here preaching and going through a whole sermon. I'm talking from the heart. That's what I do because I went through it. And if I can do it, anybody else can do it. Anybody can do it. Anybody could do it. It might be hard because, hey, everybody tells you life is not easy. You know what I mean? But it could be done. You could conquer these challenges. So that's one of the things that I bring to the table, like especially when I'm hosting a lot of parties and stuff like that, and just keeping things, just level. I'm not here to be like, okay, you should do this, but I'm not doing it. I'm not a hypocrite. That's one thing. And anybody that know me, Ozzy Oz, knows I'm not a hypocrite. I keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I contribute. And I want to say what's up to everybody out there that's doing their thing. To all the politicians, the clean-hearted politicians, Nobody don't know who's clean-hearted, who's truthful, who's acting. It's a lot of actors, actresses in this job of of politics. You know, we don't know, but you know what? We do know is your actions show, and that's what it's about. If a politician is out in the community and he goes and stop by in maybe the roughest neighborhood and go by there and ask questions to the person at the corner, you know, or go to certain city jobs, state jobs, or whatever, and just visit and see, you know, well, how do you see the future? How do you see the future in America? How do you see the future in New York State? How do you see the future in Florida? You know, if you do something simple as that holds a lot of weight because you're there for the people. A lot of politicians don't do that. One of the greatest tools, yeah, is YouTube. YouTube is one of the greatest tools because it interacts with everybody from inner cities to outer cities to the suburbs and everywhere, you know. So, I mean, this is a good platform too. But just to get back to what I was saying, that's what I do in the community. You know what I mean? I do have a good job. I'm happy. I'm proud of the steps that I've taken, you know, and the struggles I went through. I have good parents, but you know, living in certain neighborhoods, you go through the struggles, but there is no excuse. Because everybody, no matter how bad a neighborhood may seem, and I listen to what I say, may seem, you know what I mean? It is good neighborhoods. There are good neighbors all over. It just depends on the people, you know? Are they strong enough and feel confident enough to maintain their neighborhood and keep out the negative vibes, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's what I do, you know. And like I said, I got stuff on videotape, and if you ever came to Brooklyn, you can ask a lot of people. I've been through all the roughest, and I still maintain that same attitude. Nobody can say, "Oh, you sound soft. You sound like a nerd." Nah, I don't talk like it. I keep it real. Encourage a lot of people. I've covered, you know, people that went to jail have felonies, out there doing something positive themselves, working, taking care of their families the right way. They could be working at McDonald's, they still doing what they have to do to take care of their families. I respect those people. People that's been locked up with felonies and all type of stuff, and they out there doing the right thing. You know, so and that's what I push. I push anybody I see. If you around me, you got to get pushed because I've been there. Nobody can tell me anything different. I've been there and I have climbed the ladder properly, respectively. And that's how it goes. So I hope that answered your question. And to anybody that's listening to this, like I always say, never give up. Live life to the fullest. Enjoy your life. And smile because it's good for the soul. Check me out at my myspace.com. It's myspace.com/OZZIE hype. Or check out my partner in crime, Ricky Indian, and RCKY Indian. Bigger the DJ Tro, bigger the Sergeant Duggar that's in Iraq serving. Also, I want to big up Cram and Clivey, all out of the Pure Lava Show and the Pure Lava Ladies, definitely. And y'all can contact me at 718-954-2629. And that's how it goes down. So, Barack Obama, I hope you can make changes. I mean, well, you know, be part of the change and solutions. And, I'm a fair person, not prejudiced at all. Not prejudiced at all. I hang around all type of nationalities, you know. I'm a leader, not a follower. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm out. Everybody have a good day. Anybody that's watching this, like I said, everybody have a good day and hold your head up. Just never give up. That's all I got to tell y'all. And that's it. I'm out.